Some civil society organizations, CSOs, have urged Gilead, a US-based pharmaceutical company, to allow open license for generic production of HIV and hepatitis C drugs. The CSOs made the appeal at an advocacy meeting organized by AIDS Healthcare Foundation (AHF) in Abuja with the theme 30 Days, 30 Countries Gilead Advocacy. According to the CSOs, Gilead had consistently blocked attempts to introduce cheaper generic versions of its medicines, thereby exploiting humanity. Mr. Abdul Kadir Ibrahim, National Coordinator, Network of People Living with HIV/AIDS in Nigeria, NEP1, who was represented by NEP1's advocacy specialist, Mr. Michael Edo, said Gilead's action was unacceptable by stakeholders and the vulnerable communities.
Yeah, we understand that you want to make profit, but continuous profit at the expense of the lives of people should no longer be the ideal thing to do. We understand that you have patent rights, and these patent rights have lasted over 20 years. As you renew it in an ideal way, be innovative about what you are doing. And if you're not being innovative, make it generic. The world will be a better place if the drugs can reach every corner of the world and can reach everybody. And that's all what we're calling out today.
The Executive Secretary, Nigerian Network of Religious Leaders Living with HIV/AIDS, said the group was standing strong on the advocacy. She said the group would continue to ensure that millions of people have access to affordable life-saving drugs.
It is out there making money from the community, but often and on, one of the things I say is you cannot make money from people when they are dead. You only make money from people when they are alive. We're all here as civil society today to lend our voice, to say we need to stop farmers' greed. When they release patents to generic, it means that a lot of other pharmaceutical companies can as well produce these drugs, and the cost of it will reduce.
Mr. Karim Adebola, National Deputy Coordinator, Association of Positive Youths Living with HIV in Nigeria, said the advocacy was timely as it affected persons living with HIV and life-threatening diseases.
Strategies we are going to adopt, which first of all is the use of social media engagement. We are going to crush the social media. We are going to let Gilead know that AHF is not fighting them, the community is. We need them to come up to action. This is what we want. What happens when PFA leaves the space? What happens when Global Force says, yes, we can't afford this, because these are people taxes that they're using to support us due to several identified problems in Africa.
Dr. Eche Ijeze, Country Program Director, AHF Nigeria, said Gilead was listed among the top 15 largest biopharmaceutical firms in the world, condemning its prevention of generic production of life-saving drugs.
We want to ensure that there's that technology that makes drugs available for the treatment. So holding on to it can be a problem. So we're looking at ensuring that this is opened up. And the key thing there is to improve access and affordability of these drugs. And so when we look at all this together, that is what AHF is looking at as an organization.
Ms. Oluwakemi Gbadamosi-Braimah, AHF Director for Advocacy and Marketing for Africa Bureau, said the advocacy was against Gilead's wrong practices as regards profiteering, evergreening, and locking of license to life-saving medication.
And what AHF is doing with partners really is basically galvanizing civil society organizations, communities on the need, to call out Gilead for its practices. So today the focus was on CSOs driving this advocacy forward. The issue of evergreening or patenting or blocking licensing or holding on to patents, doesn't only affect organizations, it also affects the communities that we serve. People who are at risk of HIV and people who are living with HIV, as well as those who suffer from hepatitis or cryptococcal meningitis, which is very common with people living with HIV. AHF is basically calling out, AHF and partners, basically calling out Gilead to say, you need to stop evergreening. It's not innovation, it's actually exploiting people for profit. You need to be able to release the license the technology for cryptococcal meningitis so that more people are able to have access, to it.
She said that the advocacy had been ongoing for several years, which had gone global and presently happening in about 33 countries, where AHF operates.